hope you're very well indeed, and Mike back again. Hope you're very well indeed. It's Friday today, and I'm literally like to say a few beers, a few wines, and Friday during the pandemic. Hope everyone's alright during the pandemic, and things hopefully get a lot better. Hope they will do. I'm sure they will do into next year. I want to talk a little bit about magic. Some people say to me something an awful lot. They say to me, ask me about what's the best top 10 tricks of all time. Or what are the best top 10 magic tricks of all time? Seriously, top 10 of magic tricks of all time. What are they seriously? Or illusions? And I want to talk to you about what they really are. And what I think is, I started magic 40 years ago, 1981. I was about 11 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old. So I've really often thought about, over the last sort of 40 years, what are the best tricks of all time I've ever seen, watching television, live shows. And if you want to study magic, it's really good to look out for the best tricks of all time. Use for yourself, or, if you want to do magic yourself, out in cabaret yourself. When the pandemic's over, be able to go out yourself on a cruise ship, that kind of stuff, do some magic. Maybe you'll do magic yourself abroad. So maybe you'll perform in an amphitheatre, maybe perform in a pub, maybe you'll perform with your mates, you know what I mean? So some of the tricks, I picked about sort of 10, 12 tricks that are really fantastic illusions and magic tricks to do, okay? I'm going to talk on my phone, I'm going to get my phone going. I'm going to be talking a little bit about what they are, okay? And what I think the best illusions of all time really are. I'm going to pick, here we are. So I'm going to pick, the first thing I'm going to pick is probably the Buzzsaw, 1989. This is David Copperfield, and I saw this when I was 9 years old. My mind was blown, and it's called the Buzzsaw illusion. It's on YouTube, check out YouTube. It's Copperfield number 10, the Bermuda Triangle show, which is still one of my favourite magic shows ever. Very good production values. Filmed in 1988, 89 it was filmed. And Copperfield cuts himself in half with a giant electrical buzzsaw. It's called a death saw, and he gets cut in half right in the middle of it. And, legs here, arms and body over there. And he talks, and he's still alive and everything, and then the body and the torso comes together again, and then of course he's back to normal again and gets up. And of course it's a mind-blowing illusion. It was an old trick, of course, not 100 years old, sawing someone in half. It was updated to an amazing level, and of course the music was beautiful. And the whole thing, of course, the staging was fantastic, the lighting was fantastic. Copperfield looked amazing in white and black. The pattern was fantastic, the dialogue was well written, well paced, well crafted, the music was amazing, used Cutting Crew, was it, and Seal. Amazing stuff, seriously. Remember Cutting Crew, this band Cutting Crew, they had a big hit, and Diary Arms did not like this big hit. And amazing stuff, really. I think they were English as well, and obviously he was American. But really, really do check it out. It's worth seeing it, and from start to finish, it's still a masterpiece of performance, staging, illusion, pacing, writing, plot. You know what I mean? There's everything in it. And in 10 minutes, or I think 10 minutes of magic, it's the most amazing piece of magic I've ever seen. And still to this day, it's better than Flying. He did better than anything I've ever seen. So that's the number one, the Buzzsaw. Copperfield number 10 is from on the Copperfield 10 show. Check it out on YouTube, check it out, okay? You've never seen it, go and see it, okay? It was voted, I think, top 1 or 2 a few years ago in a poll as well of magicians, okay? Number 2, okay, Copperfield again, the Spike Illusion. This is Copperfield number 9 show, the Alcatraz special in 1987. I saw it when I was about 17, 18 years old. Copperfield did an amazing bit where he gets put on a sword and spins around on top of the sword. The lighting is fantastic, the music, which is Phil Collins, I think, I Don't Care Anymore, a very Miami Vice type, Miami Vice was big at the time, Miami Vice type track, you know what I mean, Phil Collins. It was extremely brilliant. Again, the plotting, the emotions in the piece, the vibe of the piece, the lighting, the staging. Phil's body language, the way he picks the sword up, puts it on the stand and then spins around in it and comes off it. It's just fantastic. It is still, it's 30 odd years ago and it still looks fantastic today in 2020. Go check it out on YouTube. Copperfield Spike Illusion. I don't care anymore. It's called Spike Illusion, but what a trick. I've seen it copied many times. Never beaten. Copied many times. Never beaten. Okay, what a trick. I've seen people do it, but nothing as good as that. So please go and look at it. I want to watch brilliant magic. Number 3, I could pick a lot of tricks actually. A lot of them were Copperfield actually. Number 3, Floating Light Bulb. Floating Light Bulb, of course, was a trick by Harry Blackstone, American magician from this dynasty of magicians. Harry Blackstone, okay, the big bearded guy, slightly chubby man. His dad had been a big American magician in the 30s and 40s, and Blackstone in the 80s and 90s was a big American magician touring the world with big illusion show. Very traditional kind of magician. And Blackstone did this thing in the show. He had a light bulb and he floated it in the air, and it was a lit light bulb, and it floated around the place and over the audience's head. Amazing illusion. So get it on YouTube. Try and find it on YouTube. Blackstone floating light bulb. Fantastic piece of magic. I've seen it live. I did it at Blackpool. I think it must be nearly 30 years ago. And literally you're there in the audience and the light bulb on stage. He's floating, and suddenly it flies over everyone's head, over the auditorium back, and it was brilliant. It really was brilliant. It was audacious. The thing about the floating light bulb, it was audacious. I love that. The audaciousness of that trick. Just incredible. Floating light bulb. Okay, just conceptually. And the funny thing with the floating light bulb, like any good magic, you can't forget it. You can't forget the trick. I can never forget the trick, seriously. I'm still remember this day. I loved it, and I hope someone else, maybe I'll do it, but someone else does that trick on stage, because it was a great trick. The floating light by Harry Blackstone. It's on YouTube. Number 4, Shimlin's cards. Shimlin, of course, it came out a couple of years ago. When America's Got Talent, he's a Singaporean American young guy, about 30 years old now. His card routine is very powerful. He did it on America's Got Talent with Simon Cowell. It was really amazing performance. First time I've seen any magic for quite a long time. That was really quite cutting edge and different. And he makes cards appear on a black mat. It's close up, and the cards will disappear again, appear and disappear. Very visual kind of magic. I've tried to maybe do a version myself of it. It's quite hard to do it, so I'll try and work on a version myself of it. But it is a brilliant trick. I have to take off a Shimlin, because take your hat off to him, because he did something really pioneering. And seeing pioneering country tricks and magic in 2020 or 2018, whatever it was, it's still quite amazing to see it, because you don't ever get to see it, do you? So it's very pioneering indeed. I was very impressed. No wonder he won America's Got Talent for it. Very good indeed. So that's a modern thing I've seen that is fantastic. Shimlin's cards. Check it out on YouTube again. Never seen Shimlin's Aces routine. I think it's Aces routine. It's a version of Flying Aces. Okay, well, Ricky Jay. Ricky Jay was back in the 70s and 80s. Was a very great, very chubby, rotund man, an amazing raconteur, amazing speaker, amazing chatter, amazing patter, amazing intelligent person. He appeared in James Bond film Tomorrow Never Dies. He appeared in that in 1999, was it? No, 1997. He appeared in that. Ricky Jay. Now, he was a big magician. He appeared on many TV shows. Doug Henning, Paul Daniels back in the day. He had his own show in New York. This guy was a genius. He was so talented with cards, it's unbelievable. He's the best magician in my life, still is. I think he's died, hasn't he? He died a few years ago. But you know what? Check out his Flying Aces routine. Some Doug Henning show he did it on that back in the 70s. The Flying Aces routine, where he vanished the aces. It's called, also known as Grandpa's Aces. I did a version of it on my video, Grandpa's Aces, and the Silk and Glass video I made a couple of weeks ago. Check it out, the Flying Aces routine, or Grandpa's Aces. Copperfield did it as well. Copperfield did its Grandpa's Aces back in 1994-95, and it's on Copperfield's last show, is it? 1995 special, 15th or 16th special Copperfield made. Please check out Flying Aces. It's a fantastic trick. Some people have performed it. I've seen Mike Vincent do it in 1995 on The Secret Show. But Mike Vincent did it, the wonderful magician, friend of mine from years ago, Mike Vincent. He did it with the Queens, Flying Queens, and they basically have 4 Queens, 4 Aces, and they all disappear and appear in a pile somewhere else. That's how the trick really works. That's all the trick is. Great trick. So let's check out Flying Aces. And the question was ever invented, or Grandpa's Aces. So if you Google Grandpa's Aces, YouTube, Copperfield, have a look for it. Copperfield's versions are mind blowing. Copperfield did this trick in front of 2,000 or 3,000 people at Earl's Court, and this is an arena, and he performed this trick. It's a little trick, little card trick. 4 piles of cards, 4 aces disappearing, they reappear somewhere else. The trick in front of about 3,000 or 4,000, maybe more than that, maybe it was 10,000, I don't know, in the arena. They normally, sells to Pink Floyd, this arena, whatever it is, in Earl's Court in 1995. So please check out the Flying Aces routine. Many magicians have done Flying Aces. Do see it, and it is one of the ultimate tricks ever. And you could do that. You could do it yourself. Get the secret off a book of YouTube. Do your own version of it, and check out mine on Silk and Glass video that I did. Grandpa's Aces. What else we got on here? We got Vanishing Girls. Vanishing Girls was done by Copperfield in 2002. So on Copperfield's 2002 special, the last special he made, I believe, almost 20 years ago, Copperfield was in a bigger, massive arena again. Always big arenas, isn't it? Copperfield performed an amazing trick in the show, Illusion, where two girls appear and he puts them on a stand and he puts a sheet above the two girls and the sheet drops and the girls disappear. It's fantastic. It is fantastic. It is up there. It is out there. It is the best piece of magic I've ever seen, just about. The girls dance a little bit, get on the podium, up goes the sheet drops, and they're gone. It's fantastic. Honestly, it makes my heart go out as a magician to see that, how brilliant that looks. It's on the last show, I think 2002 special Copperfield. I think it's called the Tornado Encounter, something like that. I think it was the last show he did. It's on YouTube. If you're going to look into magic, look at that Illusion. I think that's truly brilliant. A masterpiece of music, dance, lighting, choreography, performance, body language. It blows anything out of the water. It's better than Strictly Come Dancing. When it's really good, it's better than that. I tell you, it's so good. I almost cry with brilliance of that. I could watch that over and over again on a loop, that bit, that trick. Do check it out. Vanishing Girls. Have a look for it. I'll try and find the name of it. It's on YouTube, the last of that show. Tornado special. Next up, I would say Paul Daniels' Chop Cup. Paul Daniels was, of course, a British magician from the late 70s to mid 90s. He was a big British, English magician, northern guy, brilliant magician, one of the best magicians ever in England, Paul Daniels. I've talked about him many. He's very famous in the UK. He did quiz shows as well as magic. He was loved and not loved and loved and not loved over periods of time. I never got the respect he deserved because he was a brilliant entertainer. I met him a few times, saw him live about 10 times, met him, I chatted with him quite a lot at one point when I was about 1920. I was very, very privileged to be able to meet him because he was a very big English star, I mean really big. He used to get 20 million views back in the day in England. Anyway, the Chop Cup routine, he does cup and ball, absolutely fantastic. It's called the Chop Cup and Ball. Invented by a magician called Chop Chop, that's why it's called the Chop Cup. Cup and ball routine. I did it on my Cool Sassy videos called Cool Sassy. I did a version of Chop Cup silently without a patter. I did a patter version. Paul Daniels' version of Chop Cup with patter is amazing, absolutely astounding. It was done in 1985, his TV special. Check it out. Paul Daniels' Magic Easter Show, I think it was called, 1985. It's a lesson in 10 minutes of amazing performance. Now this guy, Daniels, did this trick every night. The opening of his West End show, It's Magic, in London in the 1980s. He did it every night, this trick, okay? Every day, every night for the audience. Open the show with this cup and ball routine. This big cup and ball routine. But a huge audience he performed this trick to. And he perfected it over and over again. He did it for 18 months on stage, non-stop, I think. Every night, or 2 times a day sometimes. It's on video, check it out. It's Picasso level. We're talking like Cézanne, Picasso, Monet level of magic. This is like Mozart. This is a magic. Really is. Check it out. Paul Daniels' Chop Cup. Hi, I hope you enjoyed that. That's end of part 1. Next video with part 2 coming up. So check next video over part 2 on the top 10 best illusions of all time, okay? And please do remember to like and subscribe. Please click the videos as well for more content as well on my channel. But please remember to hit the button to subscribe as well. Please subscribe and help me with that. Much appreciated if you can do that. And for all content as well. See you soon again for some more magic. And please do remember to like and subscribe. See you later.